I woke up last night with the thought, I'm gonna do a video on betrayal. And the weird part of that is, there's a couple weird parts. One is I don't ever think about my life in terms of being betrayed. Like that's a really like kind of foreign thing to me. And then the other thing is other things that I'm gonna mention in in this video. I have a cough drop in my mouth. Even the word betrayal sounds really dramatic. I think it sounds like a word that should be reserved solely for like sororities or like reality television shows, or like your girlfriend who's in middle school, assuming you also are in middle school. Otherwise, she's probably saying things like, help! And I think that's all really sad because like betrayal is a very legitimate thing that everyone experiences. Now this may come as a shock to you guys, but I'm actually not an expert in human development. All I know is what I have experienced in my life. And what I experienced specifically in my 20s and still now to this day, even as I'm like trying to exit it, is I have a history of always trying to please a lot of people. And I think when I was at the height of like my people pleasing, that was when I was probably most blind to like people actually betraying me and like, you know, confronting the fact that they were betraying me. And by the way, I think everybody betrays, you know, somebody at some point. I've betrayed people, you've betrayed people, and I'm still angry at you about it, frankly. I guess that's what I think is even weirder, because like in my mind, it's this ultra dramatic thing, but at the same time, everybody deals with it. Everybody deals with this thing that I like to pretend I will never have to deal with. My experience with being betrayed is as follows. One, I will trust somebody and act on that trust. Two, they will betray me in some way. That's the act of betrayal. That's where that happens. Then I like to put a little twist on it at number 3, which is I like to compartmentalize it, pretend it never happened, or blame myself, or concoct some kind of story that somehow exonerates the person from having betrayed me. Number 4, and this one is brand new, I like to have some kind of effed up dream and realize that I have pushed down the emotions of betrayal for so long that I'm now dreaming of them in the dead of night. And then 5 is get hosed. Now where was I? This whole thing to me has been like a revelation. It's been like the book of Revelations. It's been like a chariot on fire, carrying a horse, saying all the while, there's 4 of us. I haven't read Revelation in a while. I do, however, think the book of Revelation may be what is on my shirt right now. I don't know. I haven't actually looked closely at it.
I think it's, there's like a bunch of stuff happening.
Oh, I see. It's actually inspired by the gospel of boy.
If I make fun of it, you can't.
I'm just kidding, you can. I don't give a crap. I like it. It's really comfortable too. And by the way, sometimes this like act of betrayal will be super small, or it won't come from any like malicious intent, but I still get bent out of shape over it, you know? It's like there's this very immature child inside of me that's just like, I can't believe it. And I don't want to confront that child because that child terrifies me like most children do. So I like to think of myself as this very like kind of intellectual person and woke and enlightened, and so to really accept the fact that there's this little toddler inside of me, this temper tantrum throwing little brat that flies in the face of the way I want to see myself. So I take that child and I take all those feelings and I bury him, I starve him to death, I starve him until eventually he shows up in my bedroom in the dead of night and starts molding my dreams into these freaky realistic renditions of events past that I eventually wake up and go, wait a minute, I'm over that whole thing. And then I go, no, you're not, Elliott. You still have a little toddler inside of you. But then there's another type of betrayal where I go, no, that person did screw up. That actually was a pretty big deal, and I didn't deserve that particular thing. You know, that person wrote a check that they couldn't cash, and when I went to deposit it, it bounced like a basketball right in my face. Just subscribe for the imagery. Here's the thing about betrayal, you guys. Betrayal is a lot like sand on the beach. It's a lot like a setting sun. I like to think of betrayal as like rice. Betrayal is like airplane food. Like, why is it there? Betrayal, if you think about it, the reality is I really don't know a lot about betrayal. I'm only now at this year of my life trying to figure out how to actually confront it and work through it, which is really a pain in the butt because it feels like such a dumb part of me. And despite what people tend to think, I'm a real happy person like all the time. Like I love life so much, and so the idea that I could still be kind of harboring these feelings of being betrayed is so weird to me, because it's like, how can it be both? But it can't. Life is so complex and beautiful. I don't know what that was, and I am sincerely sorry for it. I just want to be above it. You know what I mean? Like I want I want to believe I'm better, like I'm a monk or something like that, but I'm not. I look at events in my past and I'm like, no, that's screwed up. You shouldn't have, X, Y, and Z shouldn't have happened. Like, and it's insane, you know, and I used to think that was like playing the victim, you know, because you see, and that, it can't happen. You see people do that all the time with betrayal. That's the thing. If you let it run amok, it can absolutely become to define you. But what sucked in my life is I've taken these acts of betrayal, these feelings of betrayal, and rather than playing the victim, I've played the singular bad guy. You know, like I've just been like, no, it's all my fault, and it's like, that's very melodramatic. You know, that's like the definition of a melodrama. It's a singular good guy and a singular bad guy. It's like, think like Star Wars or anyone who tweets at Trump on Twitter. So I'm trying to think of betrayal as fun now, you know, because like, I like children, you know, in theory, and if there's this little kid inside of me who feels hurt and betrayed by somebody else, by the actions of another, then what am I gonna do? How do I handle that? Lock him in the basement? No, I'm not doing that again. Apparently, it's my hobby. It doesn't hold up in court at all. I could catfish him. Why would I do that? He's already within me. Got him. I got him. I think I'm gonna treat betrayal, no matter how large or small or justified or traumatic the event itself may be, like a child, which means I'm gonna take the child outside. I'm gonna find a stick. I'm gonna throw the stick. I'm gonna say, fetch Gerald. You know, and Gerald's gonna run and run and run. Gerald's gonna grab the stick and he'll be like, ah! And Gerald's gonna run back, you know, he's gonna be panting. And he's gonna be so excited, and he's gonna give me the stick. I'm gonna throw it, and go get it, Gerald, you know. And then I'm gonna take Gerald home. I'm gonna give him a bowl of food, you know, because he's gonna be hungry. And then I'm gonna let him nap, and then I'm gonna forget about him for the rest of the day. And that way Gerald doesn't show up in the dead of night and pee on me. You know what I mean? Which has happened. And, you know, every time it happens, I'm like, what are you doing? In his defense, he's like, it's my hobby. But then I'm like, but you're a dog. How are you? It's a child. And then I wake up from the dream. And I'm like, another act of betrayal. I'm performing stand-up comedy at Laugh Boston on February 21st for my birthday show. I got a call from my agent today. It's selling out quickly, so if you would like tickets, there's a link in the description. 8 p.m., 18 and plus, but you can get in with The Guardian, or you can probably just get in. Also, a special someone is going to be featuring for me. His name is Mike Falzone, and I'm really excited to have him on the show, as always. So you'll get both of us. Come hang out. It's going to be awesome. I love you. Thank you so much. And, you know, process things in a healthy way or whatever. I'm going to go drink some tea. Bye.